if we're right and inflation is going to surprise on the low side of expectations, we wouldn't be surprised to see 2 or 3 cuts. Now, if you look at an indicator called trueflation, it's probably the broadest measure of inflation out there. It is saying inflation is down to 1.65%, well below where the Fed is pinning it at roughly the CPI's 2.8%.
Are you at all concerned that the Trump family is too close to crypto?
Well, I think the Trump family is very supportive of crypto, which is great. It's completely different from the environment we had been in.
Kathy Wood, confident inflation data is going to be much better than most people expect. We hope to see the Federal Reserve capitulate, go back to quantitative easing. It's going to be so important for the altcoin space. You will see altcoins erupt. Beyond that, she reminds us this administration is so different than what we had to deal with just a year ago. An administration that wanted to crush cryptocurrencies, debank entrepreneurs building the systems of the future. Now from the top down, almost everyone is pro-crypto. They have skin in the game. They hold cryptocurrencies themselves. You have to understand how much risk has been taken off of this market, and we're going to see massive growth. And you haven't seen that effect anywhere more clear than with XRP. You have, Ethereum melting away. The altcoin space down, and XRP erupted, spending more time above $2 than any time in its history. And it's just about all that risk that has been taken away from the crypto space, and it's bullish for everyone. There just has not been another cryptocurrency that has been so suppressed as XRP. Now, before we get into it here, for those of you you're still watching, subscribe to the channel. I do my best to get out daily crypto content here. Now, tomorrow, the Federal Reserve, they're going to be talking about the interest rate. It's pretty much consensus. They're going to leave it alone. That's okay. We don't need a rate cut tomorrow, but it's about the guidance. What Jerome Powell says. What is he thinking? Is he more dovish? Does he seem more willing to start bringing those rates down, start easing up on monetary policy, not being so restrictive? It's going to happen. It's just a question of when, and hopefully we get something good from that meeting tomorrow. Now, we see Bill Morgan saying the following: I increasingly wonder whether, despite all the rumors of a settlement, the continuing uncertainty about the end of the continuation of SEC versus Ripple appeal will eventually exert a negative pressure on XRP price. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to go down lower without a closure to this court case, but when it is official, I think you will see XRP respond in a big way. Now, remember, when originally that court case came to an end, I said, look, we're not in a bull run. We're not in a growth phase. I don't think a lot would happen. It responded a little bit, but then it came back down to earth. This is a different environment. I was just listening to Bloomberg today. They had an institutional investor, and she said, you know what? 99% certainty isn't good enough for us. We have to have absolute certainty. As soon as that court case is gone officially, people that will not touch XRP, you're going to see them jump in here and get very bullish really quick. And that's going to be a big, big day. It's just a matter of time. It's more complicated than Coinbase and Kraken and some of these other court cases because you had a judge's ruling. But I think we're going to make some progress here. We see this update. 2 SEC sources believe Ripple case is very close to ending. They say expect XRP to get serious commodity consideration. This one drives me nuts. First of all, we have a judge, Judge Torres. It's the law of the land. XRP is a commodity. There is no consideration for commodities. Everything is a commodity, even securities. And XRP is not a security. That's the test. Are you a security or not? Not if you're a commodity. That drives me nuts. But we see greatly reduced fines, and he really emphasizes greatly reduced. I believe it. And we see the new leadership knows this case, and how they handle it is a big deal. Sets precedent. And that's also important. This is going to be massive for the whole altcoin space. And don't forget, it's not just XRP. There were a lot of other altcoins. They weren't sued directly, but they were named in a lot of those ancillary lawsuits, and it affected the price in a big way. It's kind of what I was talking about in the intro, but that risk being stripped away. Mikkel put this quote up here. All this risk is stripped off the asset. Michael Saylor was giving a speech talking about Bitcoin, and that's what he's saying. This new administration, it just takes risk away, and they're absolutely correct. That's what we've seen happen here. Now, some people think, oh, it's not a big deal for Bitcoin. Oh, yes, it is. It's massive for Bitcoin. You had people trying to build things with Bitcoin. They were getting debanked. You know, it's great for everyone, but specifically altcoins. That's where you're really trying to work with banks, launch DeFi systems, do a lot of this cutting edge stuff. And we need that, clear guidance to do so legally so entrepreneurs can jump in here, your big tech can start adopting it. And that's what's happening here. We know this is legal and it's going to be official. You will see Congress pass legislation this year. It's going to be an entirely new world here in 2025. Crypto Eddie saying Canary Capital is looking to launch its first SWI ETF to join their applications for Solana, XRP, Cardano, Link, Avalanche, Litecoin, and Uni. I'm telling you here, the ones you want to look at, SWI, Solana, XRP, ADA, and AVAX. AVAX I've been sleeping on. I need to add to my holdings for AVAX. That's vitally important here, but a little more today. We'll see how I do here. Dr. Artur saying the following: it's the embarrassing state of XRP wallet infrastructure. What he's talking about, we have this top 3 cryptocurrency, number 3 in the world. We really have just one crypto wallet, the Sum wallet. And you need to have backups. You need to have competition here. And he's blaming the wallet companies, but I think this is really the issue. There's just not enough dApps for people to use. And so there's not enough action there to really incentivize wallet producers to jump in here. We know Sum, or whatever the name of that wallet is now, it has pretty much the whole market, and they have a hard time churning a profit. They keep playing around with, how can do we charge fees per transaction? Do we charge pro memberships? We just need more dApps. We need more action on the XRP ledger, and that will lead to more wallet companies jumping in here because it will be a profitable thing to do. There's going to be competition, you best believe, for a win there, but we still got some building to go. Now, we saw First Ledger. Yes, it's meme coins, but you saw a lot of action there. First Ledger made a lot of money with that platform, and it showed that the XRP investor, they don't want to just sit on their coins. They're willing to use dApps if the dApps are good, if they're fun, if they are something people want to use. I think that was a good first move. We should have more this year. The XRP ledger is wide open. If you're a developer, you got an idea, this is a place to launch and scale, and you're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to capture a lot of users here. Good Morning Crypto saying the United States, they will set the standard on which assets are reserve worthy. So, of course, we get the Bitcoin reserve. We also have the strategic digital asset stockpile. And, a lot of people are going to follow that. Doesn't matter how much XRP they hold in there. Doesn't matter how much Cardano. The fact that they name those crypto assets is reserve worthy, that for a nation to hold them in their stockpile, it's going to change everything. Those are the assets you're going to see ETFs for. Those are the assets that major investors are going to want to hold. It's a big deal. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not here. Also from Good Morning Crypto, one of my favorite on X. Make sure you follow them. Really, really good. Microsoft finds new remote access Trojan, rat, attacking crypto in 20 different wallet extensions on Google Chrome. This stuff's scary. Be careful. Be careful about your security. Don't keep all your crypto in one wallet. I have web wallets for using cryptocurrencies. I have ledgers. I have Trezors. I got paper wallets. I got all sorts of stuff going on. Also, be careful. Good way to lose your crypto if you're not careful, not safe, and you're not making sure you keep your keys long term. It's very easy. I almost lost some flair here when I switched phones recently. Make sure you know what you're doing, but try to diversify your holdings because you never know, something like this jumps out, cleans you out. You don't want it to get all of your cryptocurrency here. Good Morning Crypto, another story by him. Treasury Secretary Scott Benson states digital assets are here to stay, and they're going to make the United States the digital asset hub of the world. Again, here we have the Treasury Secretary, bullish on crypto, a former hedge fund manager, knows what he's doing. And, if this would have been last year, the Treasury Secretary would say, crypto is just about criminality, and we need to stop it. We need to crush it. Understand what's changed and how bullish it is for this asset class. Wow, we get a lot of Good Morning Crypto stories here. You had David Sachs, the crypto czar, and people are saying, oh, he dumped all his crypto on the market. Like, this guy didn't want to sell his crypto. No crypto holder before this year started wanted to divest, but that's what he did, and he's doing a great job. And to make sure what he's doing is ethical, he had to divest out of crypto. So he's not making rules and guidances for his own benefit. He said, obviously, I would have preferred not to, but government ethic rules required it, that he divest out of crypto. They're taking something this guy is doing, the current crypto czar, David Sachs, and they're turning it into something negative. This is just, people, they probably do understand they just want to attack everyone that has something to do with cryptocurrencies. Justin Sung, he just staked $100 million in Ethereum today. Going to be making $3 million in staking rewards annually. But what's interesting, now I know Ethereum's down in the dumps. It's not doing well. But when you look at this type of investment, why it's going to be attractive, and you will see ETFs that give staking rewards. It's very likely. Do you think Ethereum's going to at least double in price? You betcha it will. You're going to get a lot of growth there. But what about his return? His $3 million in Ethereum rewards annually in income. That would also go to $6 million. This is an asymmetrical bet, and you're going to see a lot of people piling into Ethereum for exactly this reason, and not just Ethereum, but other staking cryptos. Those are going to be explosive when we get staking rewards in ETFs. Now, we have the last story of the day here. Yesterday, spot Bitcoin ETF saw a net inflow of 276 million. The single largest day increase since February 4th. So we're seeing things kind of hopefully turn here. We got a lot of real world drivers that can wake up the crypto space. It's about time for us to see an altcoin run emerge. We'll see if we catch a nice ride here. Only time will tell. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.